Alright, just gonna go ahead right off the bat. Been kind of having trouble with the opening, but you know, what's the point when I'm just gonna screw up anyways, right? So like, I'm just gonna get it out. I'm gonna be talking about some Jujutsu Kaisen, you know, because Jujutsu Kaisen is pretty filthy. Sorry about the motorcycle in the background. Ignore that. You might have not even heard me, but you know, kind of what happens when you live in a noisy place. But Jujutsu Kaisen and your introduction to this god tier manga that I need to finish reading, because in order to actually produce videos for you guys, I need to finish reading it. Kind of counter, you know, doesn't really make a lot of sense, but since I want to get the word out of Jujutsu Kaisen and how great this anime is, or soon to be anime, not anime, but soon, by the way, that will be amazing. If I think it's UFO Table that's doing the animation for it, which also did, if I remember correctly, I believe they also did Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer. So if they do Jujutsu Kaisen correctly, believe it, boys, believe it. It will be massive. You said One Piece type stuff, right? I did. I know I did. Chapter 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be introducing you to a name, not necessarily a character at the start, but it's going to be called Ryumen Sakuna. And Ryumen Sakuna is a curse. He's this big bad guy. So imagine like Muzan from Kimetsu no Yaiba, but instead of Muzan, he feeds off of negativity, and that's what all curses are. But the thing about Ryumen Sakuna is he's split up in between 20 pieces, and each piece of him has an amount of cursed energy that it gives off, basically. And he is known to be the curse of all curses, so he's powerful, okay? He is insane. And you get on a line, oh my god, I'm just not gonna say that. Okay, as I said, I'm not gonna say that. I started to say it. You get introduced to the main character, Yuji, and Yuji is a pretty basic character. Kind of looks like the main character from Bleach. Forgive me, I don't really watch Bleach, so I don't really know the main character's name, even though I know a lot about Bleach. I know like stuff about Bankai and all that, but and Hollows, but I can't remember the main character's name, which is beyond me. Don't even ask me why. But it's going to introduce you to this Bleach type style character, and whose name's going to be Yuji Itadori. Kind of said that a little bit fast. And he's a fairly airheaded kid, you know. He doesn't think. He's more of an impulse type character, and this is going to introduce you to the occult. And the occult club is just a small thing. It's, you know, it's nothing too big. It's his two friends. And his two friends from high school, because he's a first year, they decide to go investigate some areas for cursed objects. Not really cursed objects, but more of the sense of like yokai and, you know, all the supernatural type abilities and stuff. And they all want to go in there because they're normal. They're just high schoolers. And Yuji is physically, I would say he's physically, like, how do I say that? He's physically built, but like he plays a lot of sports. He's strong, you know, all those shonen trope characters. He's got really good physical strength. Okay, you know, don't undermine him. But the thing with curses is they don't really get hit with like physical abilities at all. Like it just doesn't matter. If you hit him as hard as you can, it'll push the curse away. You can hit it, you can punch it, you can do anything you want, and it'll hurt. It won't hurt, but it'll push it back. It's more of a sense of like the force type, you know. It's you can't really give energy and push energy against energy and not expect a backlash or anything. So it's more of the sense of it's just kind of just pushing. It's got to push the energy somewhere, right? But this occult club that his three friends kind of made will introduce you to curses, and the first cursed object you're actually going to see is a finger. And this kind of leads up to the climax of chapter 1, and and his friends make it off with this finger. Not very good. This finger is a cursed object, and it's literally Ryuman Sakuna, one of the 20 pieces that is scattered everywhere, and he's, you know, the curses of all curses, so it's not something to mess with, right? Yuji finally figuring this out from the next character that you will be introduced to is called Megami. Hashtag Megamine, you know, nah. We're gonna call him Sasuke because he's very Sasuke tropey, and honestly, I don't want to. You'll know who I'm talking about as soon as you read it. He's Sasuke. Let's be honest. You're gonna introduce to him, and the thing with him is he's an exorcist, and exorcism is a big thing to exorcise curses. It's another very shonen type thing to do, but the way they do it and handle it is very different. The thing with curses is you need to have cursed energy to delete a curse or to actually defeat the curse. You can't just, like I said, you can't physically attack a curse, although it will put energy to it, it will not actually count as cursed energy. Cursed energy is what you need in order to defeat curses. It sounds a little counterintuitive because in order to actually bring a curse to life, or bring a curse to, you know, just a curse, then you would need to have hate, or not really hate, but you need to output that type of feeling, you know? Or they feed on negative feelings, is what curses do. If you do that, you will begin a curse, right? And curses start feeding off negative energy, and throughout the series you'll see this more and more. But it's mainly for big areas like schools, hospitals, abandoned places, anywhere where a lot of people have been to and is outputting that type of energy. Since you get to see your first introduction to Megamine or Sasuke, or Megamine Sasuke, I'm going to call him Megamine Sasuke now. As soon as you get introduced to him, he's gonna run this down to you. He will start to explain it to you in an easier sense. How curses work. Basically, cursed objects are bad. In order to defeat them, you need to output your own negative feeling or your own cursed energy. Sasuke will basically show you, but the thing with this character Megami is, sorry if I'm changing the names a lot, I'm going to go back and forth so I can clarify who it is, because I don't want to call him Sasuke the entire time, because that would be terrible, and now you're just going to think I'm talking about Naruto, and we already know about Naruto, but I'm going to keep doing that throughout it, you know. He's going to show you how exorcism looks, but the thing is, this isn't your typical curse. So, him being your typical exorcist is not good enough. He's basically, Yuji has to help his friends with Megami, and he goes to help his friends because his friends took off with the finger, as I stated before. Now, this creates a problem. His friends are terribly in danger, could die. He doesn't want that. That's terrible. Yuji is trying to defend his team, or not his team, but his friends, and eventually he figures out physical energy won't do anything against them. It's not enough. You know, just punching a curse, just doing and these are low-grade curses. Low-grade because it gets higher. You have like A tier, B tier, and then you have like special tier. It goes on, and basically he understands that, and now he needs to output his own cursed energy. The thing is, he doesn't have that. So what does he do? What does the main character do? What every other main character would do. He grabs Ryuma's finger, okay? The cursed energy finger. And he gobbles that shit down. Just right off the bat. Gobbling it down to save his friends, because he doesn't have much of another choice. Megami ends up explaining to him, basically right before this, you need to defeat curses with curses. You know, you can't do that otherwise. And Yuji, knowing this, he's kind of like, damn, can't really do much here. Physical attacks won't do anything. I need to get some cursed energy. So, since he's an airhead, he thinks of the most retarded way to do it, and he just downs the finger, completely gobbling that shit down, right? So now he's eaten the finger of one of the most powerful curses, and Megumin is just a normal exorcist, so he's kind of in the crossfire of this. Like, he's trying to save people, but at the same time, you also have to worry about, I don't know, Ryuma coming back to life, because he doesn't die. Ryuma, like, since he's the most powerful curse, it sounds kind of like a plot, but since he's the most powerful curse, you can't just get rid of him. You split him up. This is why he's split up into many different pieces. You split him up in order to disperse the energy and keep it away and keep protecting people. Yuji now transforms into Ryuma Sakuna's host. Very bad, just right off the gates, very bad. And basically that's where chapter 1's going to leave off, is when he transforms, and Megumin kind of sees him as a threat, and he basically says, since you have now became a curse, it is my turn to exorcise you. Megumin isn't the, you know, he's as I said, he's like Sasuke, so he thinks of the most easy tactical way to kill people. He doesn't want to risk people, he doesn't want to do anything, he just wants to get it over and done with the easiest, fastest way possible. Unlike Yuji, which is, you know, your typical protagonist, wants to help people, you know, definitely wants, you know, by the way, forgot to mention that his grandpa is the one that told him to help people for, you know, his last breath. And you'll see that in chapter 1. Sorry, I forgot to mention that, but in chapter 1, you know, his grandpa is a pretty big part of this, and he says, and I believe he says, in order to, I said that a little bit weird, but he says he just wants Yuji to help people. That's what he wants Yuji to do. And Yuji takes this, and he takes this, you know, pretty big. He's like, you know, this is my grandpa, and he told me to do this, so I'm going to do it. He doesn't think twice about it. He really wants to help people. So going about that, he ends up trying to help his friends in the process. Since he's trying to help his friends, he's now the new host of Ryuma Sakuna. And Sakuna being the most powerful legendary, like, curse, it shouldn't be possible to really eat the finger, you would think, but you slowly realize that Sakuna just basically makes a reasoning for it. He's, you know, Sakuna chooses his hosts. He can choose wherever he wants. It could basically be anyone, but he specifically chose Yuji, kind of, and Yuji chose him. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean they're friends. That doesn't mean, like, oh, I'm okay with you, I'm gonna give you cursed energy. This isn't like a Naruto and fucking, what's his name, the Nine Tails type deal. He isn't like, he's inside him, but it's nothing like that. It's basically you're screwed if you are the host of Sakuna. And chapter 1 will leave off there, where he says, I'm going to kill you now because you're a curse. Therefore leading up to the next chapter, hopefully, and you'll soon get to see, you know, way more. It's incredible. Trying to think of a little bit more before I end this video, because I feel like there's a couple things that I left off. I don't want to get into other characters as like Gojo and all that, because Gojo's definitely not someone I want to explain right now. He's someone I want to learn about, because I haven't finished it. He's someone I want to learn about and go in depth about his character, because Gojo he's a cool character. Someone you don't want to mess with, definitely not. But I'm going to leave it off there, guys, because, again, spoilers, and I just want you to see for yourself how interesting this manga is. And hopefully, if they do animate it, I will be watching that, and I will be reviewing the chapters, reviewing the anime. I'm saying a lot, please ignore that. That's it, yeah.